The X11 is one of the latest phones from the relatively small phone brand Cubot, featuring high-end specs, but keeping at a low price. Is the X11 ready to compete with the big brands that dominate the UK market? I'm Connell from TechRanger.Net, and this is the Cubot X11. The X11 is a relatively large smartphone with a screen size of 5.5 inches. This is housed in a glass and metal chassis that is a reasonable 7mm thick, though the overall size of the phone is 75mm by 150mm, making it difficult to operate with one hand. Despite the high-end materials that have been used in the chassis, the build quality of the X11 is not the best. This first occurred to me when I removed the USB charger from the phone after its first charge, and the waterproof seal sort of ripped out. Another thing to note is that the glass on both the screen and the back of the X11 is very low quality and very prone to deep scratches, as we discovered. To add insult to injury, the X11 is not waterproof, as claimed by Cubot. The X11 features very high specs, considering the pricing of the phone, packing a 1.4 GHz octa-core CPU, 2 GB of RAM, and 16 GB of internal storage. The X11 should easily be able to keep up with the high-end devices on the market today. Well, that's on paper anyway. When we ran our benchmarking test on Antutu, the X11 reached a very underwhelming score of 27,000, placing it behind even the likes of the outdated HTC One M7. We feel that the phone has achieved the low benchmarking score partly due to its underpowered GPU and poor optimization with the Android OS. The 16 GB of storage is expandable to 48 GB using a micro SD card, although due to running Android 4.4.2, you will be unable to store games on your SD card. The 5.5-inch display that the X11 is equipped with has a measly resolution of 720p and an even more disappointing PPI of 267, which leaves individual pixels highly noticeable during everyday use. Saying this, the brightness of the display is fairly good, but is let down by its poor, washed-out colours when the display is at its higher brightnesses. This means that the whites appear to be distinctly blue, and the blacks also appear to be distinctly blue. Well, almost every colour appears to be rather blue. The X11 has a mono speaker located at the bottom of the device, and it looks rather nice. That's about the only good thing I can say about the speaker. The volume is a decent 79 decibels, and the music clarity at this level is frankly appalling, giving a distinct buzzing in the background of the music. The camera, on paper, appears rather good. This is far from reality. The camera has no stabilisation, meaning that the images always appear blurred and distorted, and the colour reproduction is also very poor. The videos that are produced are a very low resolution of 480p, and they record at a measly 24 FPS, leaving the video occasionally laggy and stuttering. The battery life on the phone is not great, and will most likely not even get you through a day of use, although the standby time is relatively good, meaning that the phone is able to last several days. Unfortunately, the X11 is only equipped with 3G, meaning that the phone is unable to utilise the wide and fast 4G network that is present throughout the country. The phone is also equipped with the usual Wi-Fi and Bluetooth that you would expect. Although the phone is equipped with 3G, it provides possibly the worst reception that I've ever seen on a smartphone when in an urban area. Although it appears to operate fine in a rural environment, but that's not much use. Priced at £130, it's clear that the X11 is designed to target the lower end of the market, and that's something that it does quite well. Overall, I feel that the X11 is a relatively well-equipped device, and is definitely very good value for money, even when you consider the alternatives that are available within the same price range. Despite this, the X11 does have its flaws, including the camera and battery life, but generally the phone provides a good user experience, and that's if you can manage living with a slightly worse for wear signal when in a city. Here are the individual scores that we gave the X11. The total score that the X11 achieved was an unimpressive 5.6 out of 10, but in my opinion, if you're looking for a budget smartphone, the X11 is definitely well worth the money.